In today's video, we are talking about the collapsed narcissist. What does that mean and why does it happen? If you're new to this channel, I'd like to take a moment and welcome you and invite you to please subscribe and be sure and hit that notification bell because I put out new videos every week. Also, if you are interested in private one-on-one narcissistic abuse recovery coaching with me, please visit my website. It's linked in the description below. So what exactly is a collapsed narcissist and what does it mean? First of all, let me just say it's a very, very rare occurrence. Very rare. However, a narcissist can collapse, which means basically becoming debilitated over all loss of narcissistic supply and or exposure for who they truly are, which is a liar, a fraud, and a con man or woman, and usually a serial abuser. Both of those things usually will happen for the narcissist to collapse. Most people imagine that narcissists have never-ending confidence and never suffer from self-doubt, shame, or emotional distress. And while that is true most of the time, it's important to understand that underneath the false, phony, arrogant, entitled, manipulative, and abusive self, buried deep, deep underneath all of that is an incredibly vulnerable true self who feels deeply flawed, inferior, shameful, worthless, and inadequate. That is one of the reasons the narcissist developed the false self in the first place. It was a way of compartmentalizing those horrible feelings of inferiority and shame and building a false self that in reality is make-believe. It's not real. However, most times the narcissist has buried those horrible feelings about self so deep inside they do not feel them, as long as they are extracting and maintaining high levels of narcissistic supply. What is narcissistic supply in its simplest form? The attention of others that makes them feel special and superior, and they are absolutely addicted to it and completely dependent on it. So what happens for a narcissist to collapse? While it may vary from narcissist to narcissist, essentially they are completely exposed publicly for exactly who and what they are and the horrible things that they have done. The mask of the false self has been completely ripped off, and in that bare public naked exposure they lose all of their narcissistic supply, and because this happens they collapse. One public example I have seen of a collapsed narcissist is the Harvey Weinstein case. Here he was one of the most powerful people in Hollywood, and he was exposed as a serial rapist and attacker and a complete and utter fraud who had been abusing people for decades and had gotten away with it. When and if a woman he had raped or attacked dared to speak up about it or hold him accountable, he would have them targeted, stalked, harassed, and smeared in the most vulgar ways and intentionally ruined their careers and livelihood. If you saw him months later when he was walking into court in handcuffs and leg cuffs in his prison uniform with his head held down in shame, sometimes even using a walker to try and extract as much pity as he possibly could, in my opinion, that is what a collapsed narcissist looks like. However, it is really important to note that many times when the narcissist is somewhat exposed, let's say he or she is exposed to their romantic partner who is starting to put the pieces together of who they truly are, but are also trauma bonded to that narcissist, the narcissist can basically fake a collapse and beg for forgiveness, express their deepest regret, and beg the person to forgive them and promise beyond a shadow of a doubt that they will change. And 90% of the time, because the victim desperately wants to believe that the narcissist means what they are saying and will actually change, when they take them back And as the narcissist regains the victim's narcissistic supply, eventually things go right back to the way they were, or worse. So in order for a narcissist to truly collapse, it must be an extremely public exposure with severe consequences that leave them in utter and complete despair. And sometimes when all the elements are present that might make a narcissist collapse, it will not to another narcissist. That narcissist may just move to a different city or country and start all over again. So just because one narcissist might collapse in certain circumstances does not mean it would happen to another narcissist. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. Also, follow me on my other social media platforms. The links are in the description below. Thanks for watching, everyone.